Right now I'm working with 12 pounds of clay, and at this point I'm going to take a little bit more time in getting it seated down to the bat and the wheel head than I have been with the smaller amounts of clay. Take a little bit more time patting it. The more time I take doing this, again, I'm just getting it prepared for the centering process. And if I paddle with my hands a lot of the lumps down, it'll be just that much easier when I start doing my pushing for the centering. Again, the first thing I'm going to do is the coning up process. With this amount of clay, I can't just start at the bottom and cone my way up to the top. I have to start about halfway up, get the cone formed, and then come down to the bottom. If I just start at the bottom and I start working my way up, I'm pushing that outer layer of clay up to the top, and it will actually form a volcano shape. It'll have a whole big cupped out form at the top, which then if you close that off, you create a huge air bubble on the inside. So I have to start about halfway, cone up, and then from the bottom and up. Also, by doing it like this, I'm having to push on a smaller amount of clay right here at the top. Now I can push a little bit more clay into the mass. And then I'll come down to the bottom and work this flared out clay into the center of the mass. The clay I'm working with right now is a little bit on the stiff side. When I'm working with heavier amounts of clay, trying to make taller forms, I like to use really stiff clay. The reason why is that clay has enough strength in it already because of it's drier and stiffer, and it'll hold the walls up. It can hold that compressive weight of all that pot at the top going down. If I use really soft wet clay and I pulled a tall wall up, that softness in the clay would just let it slump right back down, and I couldn't get the form that I'm trying to go after when I'm throwing. So if you're using a little bit stiffer clay, it's going to require more strength. A lot of my students will say they're just not strong enough. They're just not strong enough. They don't have the arm strength to do bigger amounts of clay. And I have seen little old women who probably weigh only 90 pounds throwing these giant vases. It's not always about strength. A lot of it is about finesse. Knowing where to push on the clay, how to push on it. You can achieve all the same things as you would if you're just trying to muscle the clay into where you're wanting it to go. So I went in with my thumb to start the opening, but I can only go so deep. Now I'm going to finish opening down with my fingers. going to finish doing my compression in the bottom of this open clay form with a throwing stick. And it's a stick that is basically a rib at the bottom with a handle on it that I can push down. I also can use this for if I need to form a curve on the inside of a pot, but I've already closed it off and I can't get my hand down inside. I would just use this to push outward to create that curve in the bottom of the pot. I'm at a point now where it's getting more difficult to get my arm down into the pot because of my seat height. This is when you want to raise the height of your seat up so you can get over the pot a little bit more and get your arm down into it. Now that I've got my cylinder pulled, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the shaping. Now as you can see, when I put my hand down the inside, I'm almost up to my elbow. When I start pushing the clay outward, it's going to thin the walls out, but it's also going to bring the height of the pot down. So you're going to lose some of this tallness to give it some of the shape and make it wide. and that's 12 pounds of clay.